Hi guys, hope you're well today. So in today's video I am talking about my theatre review of 2016. 2016 has been an epic year for theatre in general, but also for me. I have seen so much new theatre, like there are new shows that have opened this year and I have been lucky enough to see them. There are shows that have been open a while but are new to me and I've seen them. And I've seen a couple of my favourites come and go as well. So I thought I'd talk about those. In 2015 I saw about 5 or 6 new shows, and I vowed to myself I would like to maybe see 7 new shows in 2016. And I can tell you now that after 12 months of hardcore theatre going, I have been able to see 11 new shows to me, either new on the West End or new on tour or whatever, but 11 new shows that I have never seen before, and I can't believe I've pretty much doubled but based on what I saw in 2015, and I've seen some really different and diverse things. The first show I saw was on the 3rd of January. For the very first time I saw In the Heights. And In the Heights I really liked. It's by Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's written Hamilton, and that will be opening up in the West End next year. But In the Heights was really, really fun. I really liked the style of the music. I thought it was very different to anything on the West End. It was a lot more contemporary, and I just dug it. I loved it. I thought the cast were great, and I really hope that it has a good last couple of months of show. I think it's closing soon, isn't it? But yeah, definitely recommend In the Heights if you haven't seen it yet and you really want to go and see it, go and see it. My next new show isn't a show that's been brand new. It had been on the West End for about 3 years by the time I saw it, but I'd never been tempted to see it, and it was only because my friend Harry was in it that I was like, yeah, I really want to go see it, and it was Book of Mormon. Book of Mormon, to me, it was very funny. It was it's classic Broadway piece, I would say. It's very, very Broadway, and it was good. It wasn't my favourite, and I wouldn't say it's been the best thing I've seen ever this year, but it was very, very good and I enjoyed it, and I went back again in August again to see Harry in it, and yeah, I loved it. I appreciated it more the second time because I had a much better view, I think, so because the first time I was sat in one of the boxes at the side, but yeah, really, really good show. My next new show was in March, and it was at Newcastle Theatre Royal. I saw Guys and Dolls, and Guys and Dolls is one of the oldest musicals that has been around a really long time. Again, never heard any music from it apart from Look, Be a Lady, and I had such a great tour cast. I had Louise Dearman, Maxwell Caulfield, Richard Fishman and Anna O'Byrne, who I got to meet afterwards, and it was just fun. It was great. I was a bit confused around the Havana scene, but it was really, really good. The dancing was spot on. And speaking of dancing, on the 7th of April I returned to Newcastle Theatre Royal and I got to see another Matthew Bourne ballet production. I went to see Sleeping Beauty and I loved it. I really am finding an appreciation for ballet, which I never had before. I really enjoyed Matthew Bourne's Edward Scissorhands, and so I was really hoping that I would like Sleeping Beauty, and I really did. The storyline was twisted slightly, so it was more gothic and more dark than a Disney production, but some of the music by Tchaikovsky I didn't realise had been used in the Disney film, and so I was watching it performed live in the ballet, and I just got so excited. And the person playing Caradoc and Caraboss, Adam Maskell, he was fantastic as the baddie, like the bad fairy, and Ashley Shaw as Sleeping Beauty. Oh my god, she is beautiful. I need to go and see her at some point in 2017 to see The Red Shoes, which is like a brand new production based on the film. But I definitely need to go and see her do that role because she's just stunning. She's just so beautiful and such a brilliant dancer. Shout out to Liam Mower as well, former Billy Elliot, who was in Sleeping Beauty, because he was pretty good as well as Count Lilac. I saw him that day because all the cast alternate roles a lot. So the day I saw him he was Count Lilac, and he's kind of like the hero of the piece really, rather than the actual prince guy, who isn't a prince, he's the gardener. But yeah, fantastic. That was a highlight for me. My next new show was again at Newcastle. I really fell in love with Newcastle Theatre Royal, and I went to see a production called Our Ladies of Perpetual Succour. It wasn't a musical, it was a play with music, and although very different and very interesting to anything I've seen before, it wasn't really my thing. It was, from where I was sat, it was very hard to understand some of the language used because they were all speaking in very strong Scottish accents, and it just seemed to be about 6 Catholic girls breaking away from their nuns and going out on the lash in this city that they were in for a singing competition, and I didn't really get it as such. Looking back, I think I enjoyed it more at the time, but on reflection it's like I don't really remember much about it, so I'm a bit meh. That wasn't great for me. I then took a trip to London in August for my birthday, and I decided I had to go and see this show that everyone's been talking about. Lots of people have seen it and loved it. Some people I know have seen it and gone, it was alright. And that was Kinky Boots, and I was very lucky. I won the lottery for that. I entered it thinking, if I don't win, I'll just buy like a cheap seat up in the back. But yeah, I won a front row, and again, a very good piece. I think I went the week after cast change, so the new cast were only just settling in kind of to their roles, and it was good, but again, not one of my favourites. I don't quite get all the hype around Kinky Boots. Like, maybe I missed out on not seeing the original cast, I don't know. But still a worthwhile show seeing, and it's set in Northampton, which not too far really from me, so feeling a bit of British pride about it. I also went to see, on the 25th of August, Jesus Christ Superstar, and you'll know from watching my vlog of that that really got to me. Like, that production was amazing. Need I say more? Tyrone Huntley, Declan Bennett, they were phenomenal. The girl playing Mary Magdalene was good. The whole production just worked in an open-air theatre, and I'm so excited that it's going to be coming back to Regent's Park next year, and I really, really want to try and see it again, even if I don't make it to the open-air theatre again, and it gets a transfer somewhere, hopefully into a London theatre. I really, really want to go and see that production again. The only downside will be is that Tyrone Huntley will probably not be in it because he is currently being as awesome as he can be in Dreamgirls the musical, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. After Jesus Christ Superstar, I had like 10 days of not doing very much, and then I went back down to London for one night to see a kind of, I don't know what it was. It was a show called Elegies of Angels, Punks and Raging Queens, and it was basically lots of monologues and songs based around people from all different walks of life who had HIV and who had died. And I only went to it because, once again, Harry Francis was in it, and I was being a good friend and thought I'd go and support him in it. And it was very emotional in parts. Some of the monologues were just like, wow, like based on real life stories of people, but then not because it was told after they died. It was very strange. I was crying, and yeah, it got to me, and I don't think I'll ever see anything like that again, really. It was just very, very unique. I don't know whether to call it a cabaret, or it wasn't a play as such, it wasn't a musical. It was an experience, and yeah, enjoyable but very, very sad. Then on the 24th of September, I went back to Newcastle Theatre Royal and I saw Mary Poppins. That was good. I really enjoyed Mary Poppins, even from my seat right at the very back with 1,000,001 rude people around me, or what felt like it. Zizi Strallen is Mary Poppins. I think she does so well, and I think for her it was probably a big effort to try and be different from her older sister who'd done it previously in London, but she did fantastic. The whole cast were amazing. It was nice and colourful, very different to the movie, which I enjoyed, because I think if a musical is too much like a movie that had been previously made, then you're kind of comparing it all the time, whereas with this I wasn't so much, because it felt like its own thing. It was so good. And then quite unexpectedly, on the 6th of October, I went to go see Aladdin. I hadn't been planning on seeing Aladdin, but some people from my Disney friendship group, Team Larty, there was like 5 of them, they told me that they were going to go see Aladdin, and I was like, can I come? And they said, yeah, go ahead, we're in the Grand Circle. I was able to find a seat right next to those 5 people, and then more people started booking seats all around the Grand Circle, and it ended up being like a 10-11 person group thing, and it was so much fun. We had the best day in London ever. And Aladdin was a fantastic show. I really feel like I enjoyed it because of the people I was with, as well as the show being awesome, of course. Trevor Dion Nicholas as the genie is fantastic. You really need to see him, guys. He does not try and copy Robin Williams at all. He's just totally brilliant as the genie, and Dean John Wilson as Aladdin is really, really good as well. All the cast, yeah, you'll know what I thought of it from my review videos. I can link those down below if you want me to, or you can just look them up on my channel. But yeah, really enjoyed Aladdin, and I really want to go back and see that again, but I might try the lottery, I don't know. And that brings me to the final new show of 2016 that I've seen, and that was Dreamgirls. And Dreamgirls is pretty special. It's taken about 30 years for it to come over from Broadway to the UK, and I'm so glad it has. Amber Riley is awesome as Effie. I understand she's got 3 alternates now, and so you may not stand a chance of seeing Amber. You might get one of the alternates, but to be honest, they all sound like they're pretty fantastic people. And the cast I saw is so tightly knit already, even though it was only open like a week or 2 when I saw it. It was incredible, and I am dying to see this show again. I don't know when, I don't know how, but I need to see Dreamgirls again at some point before it closes, and I thoroughly recommend you going to see it as well. Some of the other shows I saw in 2016 were old favourites. I went to see Mamma Mia with Chantel, and I saw that for the first time in its new home, and it seemed very different to when it was at the Prince Edward, like with the staging, but the cast, as usual, phenomenal. Maz Murray is the star of that show as Tanya. She's absolutely brilliant. I also went to go see Cats close at the Palladium on the 2nd of January. Had to go and see Harry give his last Mungo Jerry's, and seeing everyone else in the cast like Taryn Gee and, yeah, Markel Ward as Rum Tum Tugger, doing the Rap Tugger, which I will never see again, unfortunately. That was it. That was going to be the last of Rap Tugger for the Cats tour, which is a shame, because I felt like if people gave it more of a chance and gave it a chance to settle in, people would get used to it. But a lot of audience goers to Cats were probably people who remembered it the first time, and with Rock Tugger, so they're bringing that back. Oh well. But probably one of the most epic things I've seen out of all my old favourites that I repeated this year was Miss Saigon. I went to both shows of Miss Saigon's last day, and it was incredibly emotional. And I went to the matinee with Sam Tolfree, and then I went to the evening by myself, and the atmosphere was just incredible. Like seeing Tanya Manalang's last Kim in the afternoon, and she was just on fire, that girl. She was putting in riffs here and there, and she just got to me. I loved Tanya so much. She's the best Kim I've ever seen, and I hope she gets the UK tour. I really do. But if it's not her, then I'm sure whoever else is picked is going to be just as awesome. And then the final show in the evening with Eva and John and Alistair, and wow, the speeches at the end got to me. And then I went to stage door just to observe in the madness that was happening around the stage door, and it was crazy. So many fans crowding round the door, and then the actors themselves hanging out of the windows taking pictures of all of us and getting us to yell things, and it was just a great way to end what has been like nearly 2 years of Miss Saigon in the West End, and I'm proud and happy to have seen that show 14 times. I think Miss Saigon is one of Alan Boublil and Cord Schomburg's best works, and yeah, I just loved being there for that final day. So to sum up, as you can tell from when I've been talking to you for so long, oh my god, this is like the longest video ever. 2016 has been an amazing year of theatre for me, and can I tell you what the best thing about it was for me? I can tell you the best production I have seen the entire year. Out of all that I've seen and all I've talked about, I think Jesus Christ Superstar at the Open Air Theatre for me was certainly the best thing about it all. They were all good in their own ways, some better than others, but that for me was just truly, truly special, and it will stay with me. And yeah, thank you Jesus Christ Superstar, because you're awesome. The music was so good, and yeah, I cannot wait to see if 2017 will bring anything. I'm really hoping to enjoy Wonderland. I'll have to see what the new changes are like for this new UK tour, and I need to book to see it in York actually, because Rachel Wooding is going to be very different to Kerry Ellis, who I'm seeing in Sunderland, hopefully, fingers crossed. So yeah, thank you for watching this incredibly long video, guys. I don't know how I'm going to edit it, but yeah, this will be fun. Give this video a like if you did, comment down below, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye!